Well, hopefully if you're like me, you're getting super stoked and excited for the new Dragon Ball Super Superhero that will be coming out in 2022, presumably sometime in the holiday season, probably November or December. And I just say that because if we were going to get a summer release, given that it's almost the end of 2021, we'd probably have a date by now. How's it going, everybody? Savvy saying what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you all sorts of Dragon Ball content. And today, what I'd like to discuss is the two new character designs that we received at San Diego Comic-Con, and now that we received a bit of a teaser trailer, maybe try to figure out who and what these characters are. So we do know that their names are Gamma 1 and 2. This was revealed to us at New York Comic-Con, and I just want to take a zoom in on their looks. The image from the first San Diego Comic-Con, I just pulled this up courtesy of DBS Hype. I always just use that account because I do find that the information for new Dragon Ball stuff is always clear and concise there, so be sure to give a follow and sub. So yeah, with that in mind, let's just try and center them a little bit, take a good look at their design. The first thing I want to point out via their design is that they're definitely going to be working for the Red Ribbon Army in some way, shape, or form. And the way we can confirm this is if we actually hop over to the teaser, we do have this still shot, and I did have this pulled up as the first thing because it was in so much trouble just getting it while recording. We can actually see over on Gamma 2's shoulder as he's going in for this strike, or it's going in for this strike, we can see the Red Ribbon Army patch on their shoulder. So that's actually pretty neat and something to note right away. So the kind of couple ideas that are floating around, I guess, out there right now is what might these guys actually be? Could they be new androids? Could they be aliens of some kind? Or could they be like kind of a mixture of both? Maybe something kind of like Cell, an artificial being. I personally, just off the bat, I do think they are going to be androids, but I do think there's going to be a little bit more to that. I don't want to discredit the possibility of them maybe just really being aliens, because truth be told, when going back to the original Dragon Ball series and looking at the original Red Ribbon Army, while yes, Android 8 had already made an appearance at this point, it is worthwhile to note that when Mercenary Tao showed up, he was just a hired gun. He was just a hired killer that showed up and was trying to kill Goku and get the Dragon Balls for General Red. So I could very easily see them going the route of, well, we're not having so much luck with making these androids, so maybe we should just, hire some aliens to take care of things. Because if you do look at their designs, the one other thing that I'll kind of note is they do have these kind of like uniforms to them. And so since they do have a sense of uniformness to them, I could also see the possibility of them maybe being like an anti-hero, or assassin level style of the Galactic Patrol. So like maybe like a dark version of Jacko. I think that could be really cool. And because we also get like these kind of like pew pew sci-fi blasters that they have. We've got, you see the red one down here for Gamma 1, and then Gamma 2 actually has a blue one that we actually see on his waist over here, and then once again in the trailer. So yeah, I don't want to necessarily take the option off the table that they could be, but I do think they are going to be androids of some breed. And the reason I say that is if we hop over to the final shot of the trailer, and this is something that Goresh had actually pointed out, you can actually look over and see this little pink pod over here, which is actually the same as the pods that 16, 17, and 18 came out of when they first appeared in the series. And then the next thing to note is that we've got these red, blue, and green wires right here, also connecting to this little box up here that's got the number 1. And if we take a look over back at our friend Gamma 1, it is the exact same number 1. So to assume that this pod is what Gamma 1 is coming out of, I don't think is all that far-fetched. Now, I do think there are a couple of possibilities from here. I do think, once again, they could be a mixture of the two. They could be androids based off of aliens. They got a couple of aliens and did the whatever Giro did to 17 and 18 and just do it to aliens. So I think that could very much be a possibility. Totally on the table. But what I think is probably more likely is if we look at the computer screens that we have in the background over here, as you can see, we've got all these different numbers annotated. We've got A17, C66, E91, D32, and I'm not necessarily sure what these numbers mean, but I do think they are some form of data point, because if we look in the background, we can actually see Hercule, and we see the word Satan over here kind of blocked off by our little man in red. And if we actually go earlier in the trailer, we can actually see this is where this computer, once again, it looks like even with the same numbers, because it looks like we've got C66 over here, whatchamacallit, the E91 is over here, D32, so A17, like they all look like they're in the same place. And then we've got an image of Goku, we've got an image of Vegeta in the Bad Man shirt, you gotta love it, and you got an image of Boo. So I would think that these are kind of like rotating data points. And then the other thing is that we can also see these big tubes from these computers, one big red one big blue one, each on these kind of like respective little screens, also connecting to these these big boxes up at the top at the end, which, you know, then feeds into that little one box that we have over here. So I think that these are computers that are kind of collecting data points on our heroes and have sort of kind of compiled these two Gamma 1 and 2s into a sort of cell type thing. Because the Gamma 1 and 2 thing sounds like a very uniform name, but it doesn't sound like something you would just name, like, people Gamma 1, Gamma 2, like if you were, like, an alien species. Like, that definitely sounds like it's either, like, a code name or some type of project name that was given to them. So I am not personally under the impression that these guys are, or I am personally under the impression that these guys are probably some type of compiled artificial alien life form to battle off with Goku and company. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Do you think I'm overthinking this? Are they just, you know, your standard basic androids? Because that very well could be a possibility at the end of the day. They're just, you know, your entry level, you know, they just made a couple of robots. Like, that's it. Bada bing, bada boom, done. But we'll have to see. We still have a long ways to go, so let's speculate in the meantime. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did and made it all the way to this point, please consider hitting a like, as it does help the channel grow greatly. And that being said, I will see you all next time. Have a great rest of your weekend. Peace out.